Shalom, shalom, shalom. I need y'all to bear with me, y'all. My laptop is messing up, so I can't do it on my laptop, so I gotta do it on my phone. So Salakia for my background, all that other stuff. But miss y'all. Today, well, first I'm gonna give honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach, Shah, the water, forever and always. Today we will talk about you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow, right? So many people will call that karma, right? But the Bible never even mentions the word karma, right? Instead, the scriptures teaches a principle that's called you reap what you sow. Right? I remember growing up, the old heads used to say that all the time. You reap what you sow, right? So just a little background on the word karma, right? So karma originated from the Eastern religions like the Hinduism and Buddhism, right? But teaches that good or bad actions return to you across lifetimes, right? Based off what you did, whether that's good or bad, right? So the Bible teaches something different, right? So your actions produce consequences before the final judgment of the Most High God, right? So first precept that I have is Galatians 6 and 7. Galatians 6 and 7. Galatians 6 and 7. And I'm going to try to put that in the chat. Again, please bear with me today. Just having some complications with my laptop, so it won't be. I usually have my notes all up there and ready to go, right? But I'm just go ahead and read, and it reads: "Be not deceived; God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Right. So be not deceived. Let's break that down. Be not deceived. Many people think they can escape consequences, right? So don't think that you can, right? God is not mocked, right? So the Most High cannot be tricked or outsmart. You can't think that you got one up on the Most High God because you don't, and you never will, right? So what you sow will be your actions, your words, and your decisions, right? And what you sowed. So that shall you reap is a harvest of consequences. And again, consequences could be a good thing, and consequences can also be a bad thing, right? So your life becomes the harvest of the seed that you planted, right? So if you planted something bad, then your life is going to harvest bad, right? But if you're keeping the law, statutes, commandments, right, and sowing good seeds among you, then good seeds will be prevailed, right? So a farmer cannot plant corn and then expect some apples to come up, right? So you can't be out here and sowing bad seeds and expecting something good to come out of it. Absolutely not, right? So if someone consistently lies, right, for an example, then eventually nobody's going to trust them, right? Because if somebody just stay lying, you're not going to trust them, right? Relationships can break, right? And credibility will die, right? So the harvest matches the seed. Again, so if you sow in bad, bad will come out. If you sow in good, good will come out, right? So you can pray for a good harvest, right? But if you're not planting a good seed, right? Or if you're planting that bad seed, prayer won't change what your crop is going to develop to be, right? Unless you're putting in action, right? So your words also produce consequences, right? And check out my reel if you have not on our sisterhood page, right? Israel Sisterhood on Instagram and also on Facebook, right? But we was talking about your words, right? Proverbs 18 and 21, right? And it reads, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat of this fruit thereof. Right? So words plant seeds still, right? Along with your actions, right? So, some seeds grow and harvest healing, wisdom, and unity, right? Oh, let me put that in the chat. Proverbs 18 and 21, just so it's easy for everybody to keep up. Again, Salakia for me not being able to have my slides. My computer is messing up. It ain't allowing me to present. All right, so other seeds grow, right? So the bad seeds will be division, bitterness, and destruction, right? If you're not producing those good seeds. So your mouth plants the seeds your life will eventually harvest, right? So if you living in the bad, most likely your life is going to be around the bad, right? So a woman consistently criticizing her husband, right? That ain't gonna do nothing but, like, months and years later, right? He might eventually shut down emotionally, right? Or the marriage may become distant, or you just sitting there trying to figure out, well, why your husband don't want to be around you, right? But she planted seeds with her mouth, and now she has to eat of the fruit thereof, right? The seeds that she planted, and that's the stuff we got to be careful of doing, planting those bad seeds, right? And again, upset with those consequences of those bad seeds that we planted, right? So every conversation plants something, right? Whether it's peace or it's poison, right? The bad. Your mouth is a garden, right? So your life eats the fruit that it grows, right? So we also got to remember wickedness eventually returns to the wicked, right? So we have Psalm, I'm going to put that in the chat again. Psalms chapter 7, verses 15 through 16. Again, Psalm chapter 7, verses 15 to 16. And it reads, He made a pit, and he digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he made. His mischief shall return upon to his own head. Right? So wickedness often becomes self-destruction, right? As we know, you dwell in the wicked, most likely you're gonna set yourself up for failure, right? Um, some people think that they're getting away with evil, right? When they did that murder, or they stole from that brother, that sister, right? Or whatever the case may be, they think they get away with it, right? But the trap that they set becomes their own downfall. Again, they set themselves up for failure, right? And someone spreads so I'm slacking. So again, so like for an example, if someone spreads lies at work, right? Eventually the truth may surface, right? They're gonna lose credibility, and then nobody's gonna trust them anymore, right? And then they fell into their own pit, trying to bring you down, right? So when people dig their own pit, right, or what they say, they tie themselves up, right? Give them enough rope to hang themselves, right? So when people dig themselves a pit, the Most High just steps back and let gravity, right, do its work. Because sometimes you and set your own self up, right? And the Most High just gonna let it play out. He ain't gonna come save you, right? If you in wickedness. So righteousness also produces a harvest, right? So I have Proverbs, and put it in the chat again, 11 and 18. Proverbs 11 and 18. Proverbs 11 and 18. And it reads, To him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward, right? So good seeds brings good fruit, right? So for an example, you have discipline, right? You sow the seed of discipline, right? Now you may have stability, right? Whether that's on a mental state, or you ain't buy just everything that you saw, and now you able to pay your rent, right? Or you have kindness. That's the seed that you sow, and now People is wanting to do favors for you, right? You have wisdom, right? And then you have peace. Faithfulness, which would be the seed that you sowed, and then the fruit that was harvested is trust, right? So the harvest may take time, but it's gonna always come, guaranteed, right? So sometimes the harvest is delayed, and sometimes the harvest come within the next minute, the next hour, or the next day, whenever, within haste, right? So I have Ecclesiastes. I'll put it in the chat. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11. And it reads, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right? So sometimes consequences take time. Right? It may not come again within that same moment, but it's going to come. Right? When you least expect it, each and every time. So people mistake delay for escape. Like, ha, I didn't, I ain't get caught up for that. Whole time, it's gonna catch up to you. Believe it, right? But the word warns us that delayed justice is not canceled justice, right? For example, when the Most High, when the second coming, right? When Judgment Day get here, everything we gonna be have to take account for everything that we did, right? It just is what it is. It ain't it may just been delayed in a sense if the Most High ain't deal with you, but justice will be served each and every time, right? So another example would be someone living recklessly for years and is suddenly facing consequences later in life, right? That's just another example. The Most High punishing you come Judgment Day, right? For things that you did and you was living out here outside doing whatever, right? And the Most High just let you. Didn't even deal with you, right? But now he on that, right? My mom, she used to do that. You see, like everything build up, build up, build up. Oh yeah, so now she beating your tail for everything you and did. She's like, oh yeah, and last week, remember when I told you don't keep running into my house? Yeah, I heard you come up in that house, right? Or whatever the case may be. Remember I told you not to touch that heat, touch that air. You did it anyway. I'm on there. I'm on there. I'm putting BTA, right? So now it's some examples in life where sowing and reaping, occurs, right? It can occur in relationships. It can occur and that's like friendships, any form of relationship, right? Marriages, parenting, your finance, your spiritual journey, right? And also just your character, right? So for an example, in parenting, right? So if parents consistently show patience, discipline, and teaching their children the commandments, right? Those seeds produce children with structure, right? And setting them up for perfect ways of life, right? But if a parent shows neglection, right, that's just so chaos, right? And that's what there's a lot what's going on, where a lot of kids don't even know where they doing and where they going, right? Remind me of one lesson that I taught, and I think I'm gonna bring that back out about they just arrows, like a bow and arrow, and the arrow just have no direction. They don't know where it's going, right? Because they have no wings to fly. They just sitting there. It's just going like a stray bullet, right? Have no destination, right? So the ultimate harvest again is judgment, right? So we have 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. 2 Corinthians, I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat. 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. And it reads, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Yahushua, that everyone may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. Right? So every action has a final accounting before the Most High God. Again, whether it's good or bad, you still have to take account for those things. Nothing is hidden. Nothing, right? Nothing is forgetting either, right? Most High going bring forth all that things that you thought you and did that you didn't even realize. Most High gonna have account for all of that, right? So, precept that I have is Galatians. Put it in the chat. Galatians 6:9. Galatians 6:9. Galatians 6:9. And it reads, "And let us not be weary in well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Sometimes the harvest of righteousness takes some time, y'all. And we know that, right? It may take some time. But every seed grows eventually. Let me say that one more time. Sometimes the harvest of righteousness takes time, but every seed grows eventually, right? So now let's get into how does sowing and reaping work, right? Number one is planting, right? You planting the seed, right? So actions create seeds. Again, that's whether that's gossiping, kindness, discipline, laziness, honesty, deception, whatever seed that you're sowing, right? Number two is growth, right? Time passes, right? That's when you think that, sugar honey iced tea is sweet. I mean, yeah, you think it's sweet and you think everything Gucci, right? Time's passing, you know, and then seeds, you gotta understand that seeds develop beneath the surface, right? So it starts in the ground, underneath, right? So sometimes nothing will appear to be happening, right? So you'll think, like, I remember when I was in science class, and we and uh um was making flowers, right? Putting the seeds, and let's see who flower can grow the fastest or the tallest or whatever, which have you, right? And for just for the record, my flower never grew. I don't know why. It never grew. Like, I don't know why. But anyway, it appeared everybody appeared to seem like it wasn't nothing happening, right? And then eventually you seen a little sprout, right? Little leaves start to come up, right? And that's how you know that it's growing, right? Maybe I didn't water my plant enough. I don't know. I suck at plants. Number three is the harvest, right? So eventually the results show up in life. Again, whether that's good or bad. Someone consistently practicing discipline and wisdom, right? Later, or years later, months later, right? They have stability while others may be struggling again, right? So success or destruction both grows quietly before they appear publicly. One more time. Success and or destruction both grow quietly before they appear publicly, right? So ask yourself, what seed am I planting daily? Am I planting bad seeds or am I planting good seeds? What do I want to get out of it? Do you want bad things to happen to you? Are you okay with going into the lake of fire? Or do you want the good things to happen to you and you want to make it into the kingdom? Right? So also let's get into how to sow good seeds. Right? Number one is to guard your words. Zip it. Put the tape in your mouth. Guard your words. Right? Choose your words wisely. Your mouth plants seeds every day, right? Knowingly or unknowingly, right? That little doubt that you said was a seed that you planted, right? Um, Number two is to choose righteousness even when nobody sees, right? That's a do a good thing even when nobody's looking type of deal, right? My grandmother and my mother and them used to tell me that all the time, right? Seeds grow underground before a harvest appears, right? So even when nobody can see you, continue to do it. Do the right thing so you can grow, right? Number three, do not envy wicked people. I'm gonna say that one more time. Do not envy wicked people, right? Because sometimes their harvest just hasn't arrived yet, right? Just because that person out there selling drugs, getting money, making to it, while you sitting there working your 9 to 5 and living paycheck to paycheck, right? Don't think that sugar honey iced tea is sweet again, right? You got to understand that the wicked, they're going to be dealt with too, right? Number 4, be patient with good seeds, right? So righteous seeds take time, right? Because we know that don't grow overnight. You can't change nothing overnight, right? Just because you're trying to sow a good seed for you to do better, right? Within yourself, it's not going to happen overnight. Nothing happens really overnight, right? And just because you don't see fruit yet doesn't mean that the seed isn't growing, right? You might have some slip ups, right? But as long as you're still trying, right? As long as you still watering the seed, right? It's a possibility that it will grow. As long as you have the sunshine, the light, right? Will continue to help it grow. Oh, that's a word, y'all. Water the seed with the word will help produce the light. And the light is the way, right? It's gonna be short and sweet. Um, I hope y'all was able to receive the message, right? Of planting and sowing good seeds, right? And not the bad seeds. Really, I tried not to make this lesson so long, but really I could have went into Matthew 13 for sure. That's a whole good chapter about sowing seeds. I might do a part 2. Yeah. Just so the video ain't long. I know how Israelites be. Y'all don't like to sit for a long time. I get it. Especially because I ain't got nothing on my screen, y'all. So I try to keep it real sweet today. Um, Become. Again, give honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach Shah, the water. And looking forward to all of y'all watching the video later. Please leave a comment, like or subscribe. Love y'all. Shalom.